Hello everyone, and my research is the role of motivation in learning foreign language at non-linguistic universities. You can ask me what is the purpose of my research. And the purpose of my research is to clarify the motives underlying the interest in a foreign language among students of non-linguistic universities. The research significance. The concept of modernization of Kazakhstan education for the period up to 2030 implies the orientation of education not only on the mastery of a certain amount of knowledge by students, but also on the development of his personality, his cognitive and creative abilities. So these goals are presented in the state educational standards of higher professional education in all specialties and entail the need to develop and implement active teaching methods and tools in various fields of scientific knowledge, which determines the relevance of this study. This relevance becomes even more significant when it comes to learning foreign languages in various non-linguistic universities. Who were the research participants? 76 second-year students of the Almaty University of Power Engineering and Telecommunications took participation in this research. Research instruments. The study was conducted in the form of a questionnaire in the middle of this semester. Literature review. Foreign psychologists spent much time developing the theory of motivation. In the works of famous German scientist Heckhausen, the theoretical and methodological analysis of achievement motivation, theoretical developments of this phenomenon, its experimental studies and approaches to diagnostics are given. In his unique work, Motivation and Activity, he proposed a synthesis of psychology of motivation, bringing this area to a fundamentally new level. Using the techniques of other scientists, he made a significant contribution to measuring the trends for a hope for success and fear of failure. According to another scientist, Usher, motivation is a complex combination of the driving forces of behavior in the form of needs, interests, drives, goals, ideas that directly determine human activity. Since there is still no consensus on the essence of the motives of learning activities in pedagogical science, they are studied in various aspects. For example, Brown takes all the factors for the motives of learning that determine the manifestation of learning activity, which may include needs, goals, attitudes, and a sense of duty. Majority of scientists believe that internal and external motives do not exclude but complete each other. For example, according to Lambert, external and internal motives play an unequal role. Internal motives give personal meaning to activity, and external motives are the actual motivator of activity. So, according to the theory of self-determination and intrinsic motivation of human behavior developed by Deci and Royan, extrinsic motivation is a special construct for describing behavior determination in situations where the initiating and regulating factors are outside the self or out of behavior. The research questions. The first research question is, what can be the motivation of students to learn English at non-linguistic university? The second is, does university teaching increase students' interest in English since high school? And the third is, what factors lead to a decrease in English enthusiasm? Here you can see the results of the questionnaire. Thus, modern students have preserved and increased interest in the English language at a technical university, dominated by intrinsic motivation over extrinsic. Students are more focused on using the English language here and now than in the future. Despite the abundance of information and lack of time, they realize the importance of a foreign language not only as a factor in obtaining a prestigious profession, but also as a means of developing intelligence, cognitive processes, and communication. In conclusion, I want to say that an important factor in the creation and development of motivation is the teacher of a foreign language, which creates conditions for the emergence of internal motives of learning and cognitive interest in learning a language, influencing the motivational structure through the definition of personally significant learning goals. Our trainer notes the teacher's ability to influence the formation of students' self-educational competence, the ability to maintain interest in learning and increasing the level of mastering foreign language in the process of self-study. Self-education competence is of particular importance due to the reduction in the numbers of hours spent on students' classwork. NOLA emphasizes the role of the teacher in setting long-term and short-term learning goals, their control and adjustment in teaching foreign language. Due to the impossibility of automatically maintaining a high level of students' motivation throughout the entire course of study, it indicates the importance of targeting the address of training and the needs of students to study a professionally oriented foreign language in a technical university. The task of a foreign language teacher is seen in expanding the zone of external motivation by creating a multilingual learning environment, putting forward long-term goals that are close to the student, such as training in a magistracy in his university or abroad, research activities, participation in grants and international internships, scientific online conferences and workshops. On the other hand, the teacher should focus on the internal motivation of the student, and that is to say his current tasks and needs, to develop an interest in a foreign language as a method of multicultural communication, to promote the expansion of the students' horizons, the cultivation of tolerance towards other people and cultures.